This podcast is a member of the Red 5 Network. For more Red 5 Network podcasts and content creators, visit bio.link/red5.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
Clean that up in aisle 4. How's it going, everybody? Ooh.
How are you doing, sir?
Well,
You've been better.
I've been better. Some tragic news that we'll talk about in a few minutes today. As I was minding my own business, I got a couple phone calls, and things were revealed. And I have some exclusive video to share with you guys just to tell this story. But as I was telling you in the chat, things could have been worse, but there's a couple of things that I'll say about that. But how are you?
There's some victims, still some victims today.
Yeah, absolutely. But Brad, how you doing, man?
Good. Coming live from Scarif Studios here. And
yes, you're like what was that? Remember that guy that had the dartboard behind him?
the conspiracy theorist?
He was a Star Wars YouTuber. He had a dartboard behind him. If anybody in the chat,
going for more. You remember what was the movie in the 70s where the newscaster just goes crazy and just goes off at the end, talking about how the world's insane and all that? That's kind of what I was going for.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Was it the network? I don't know.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so. Hello, chat. We got Cam Ray Productions. Oh, semi productions, because it's not a full production. It's a semi production. It's a full production.
Middle.
But Darth Beard, thank you very much. One of our patrons. Say hello to my little friend. Andrew, I'm assuming the science fictionary. Yeah. He says, sorry to hear about the flooded basement. And that's what we were talking about earlier. I'm going to show you guys a video so you also can cry. But so I've been collecting Star Wars things for a long time. Yeah, a couple of years. Since the beginning. I have amassed probably a warehouse full of items, a little bit here, a little bit there. I have a video production office, and I've got a whole bunch of stuff there. I also, when my mom moved into a condo, she had a storage area. She had a storage area, and I said, you know what? Let's put some Star Wars stuff in this storage area too, just to kind of spread the wealth. And the Chicagoland area has had a couple of events, weather events, some major storms in this area. And, one of the things that I cover when I cover news is all the things that happens in the surrounding area. And we had a lot of flooding. That was a couple of days ago, and I thought that was all behind us. And my mom's building is pretty strong. It's not really in floodplains, but something happens when it rains a lot here in Chicago. The city kind of does some weird stuff with the sewer system, and sometimes in order for them to, save flooding in one area, they kind of close the gates somewhere else, and that may or may not affect things in certain areas. But I'm gonna play this, and this is what I came to when my mom's neighbor called me and said, you got to come here. Flooded. Look at that. And
Basement of Camino.
The Camino's basement. That is obviously one of the Clone Wars ships with a couple of other things. That bag in the back there is actually all of my saved laser discs. I also had a laser disc player just archived there. That was under 4 feet of water. And that silver thing really pained me because that silver thing that you see on the left there was the episode 1 lithograph collection from Doug Chang. And I'm sure I can get another one on eBay. But yeah, really pained me. This is the one that really got me though, because as you know, this one hurt. Ouch. Yep. That one hurt a lot. So, yeah. What do you think?
I mean, I got no words, man. Except I'm sorry that's. It reminds me of when a couple of years ago when my wife and I were at lunch, and then suddenly I got a phone call from the apartment complex that our apartment was raining, because the person above us decided they wanted to make candles in their apartment.
Jeez.
And yeah, they're like, yeah, they set up the fire alarm. It's all coming through your apartment, and the apartment complex busted in the door, but lost a whole bunch of stuff there. But that doesn't make any better for you. But
yeah, like I said, it could have been worse. Some of the plastic stuff, I'm running a hose through it and bleaching it and disinfecting it. But the laser discs, I probably could have saved the laser discs, but the jackets were, totally gone. Sewer water. I didn't want to. I don't know. This, like I said, I probably could have saved the laser discs, but what am I going to play it on? The laser disc player was, and I kept the laser disc player as an archive piece, in case I wanted to ever watch those laser. Oh, the Battle for Endor laser disc was on there. The Ewok Adventure laser disc. I had a whole bunch of movies. Obviously, you saw the Star Wars trilogy, the original trilogy. The one thing that I will say though, that when I was younger and didn't have a mortgage, I pretty much bought 2 of everything. So with those laser discs, I actually have 3 sets. So I think I'm okay.
Well, I just want to give you a little bit of good news that when we saw this, Amy said that's not right, and we are purchasing you the special edition laser disc. So your replacement will be coming soon, sir.
Oh my God, Brad, you are a wonder. You and Amy are wonderful.
It's really
wonderful.
her. I'm not. She's a good one. I'm not along for the ride. But she couldn't stand for that, and she immediately got on.
Wow.
On her on eBay. So you got one coming to you, sir.
My wife is gonna cry.
Not on our watch, sir. Not on our watch.
Beautiful. But yes, we are obviously going to be talking about Shadow Maul. And how many times Shadow keeps saying Shadow Maul? That's like, yeah, ShadowLord, the Darth Maul series on Disney Plus. There's a new trailer that came out for the Mandalorian movie. You're just switching gears. Have you seen that?
No, you told me to watch it, but I hadn't had a chance yet.
Yeah, but it's I guess it gives us a little bit more details as to what the plot is. I feel like the plot of the movie is going to be basically what the plot of the series should have been. One-off adventures, hunting down Imperial warlords. But we'll see. Less than 30 days out, and you'll be coming to Chicago. We'll be hanging out.
That's
and
right.
Hopefully, if anybody else is watching this and is in Chicago, wants to hang out on that weekend, we'll definitely have a little get together, party, pizza, and a couple of beers. Beautiful.
Just a couple.
Or a few. Absolutely. All right. Well, so looks like we have a couple of additional people in the chat. with some questions. We will get to those very soon, but we do have a guest. And the other thing too is I want to make sure that you guys use the Scarif Scuttlebutt hotline. We have a phone number that we share with our friends and our folks that like giving us a call. We like to take your hot takes. We like to listen to what you have to say, reaction to some of our past shows, and we've got quite a few. Just look for us wherever you download your other favorite podcast. But you want to ask me what is that number, Brad?
7577 Scuttlebutt. Hey, also, I do want to share some more sad news.
Oh.
And maybe you can find this and bring it up. But there was a strip club, I think it was in California, and it was the only one in that particular town, and it closed down. And the name of that strip club was the Scuttlebutts.
Oh.
So we did lose a member of the Scuttlebutt family.
Oh wow!
So
that would have been
all kinds of bad news now.
That would have been a great field trip.
Yeah, we should have done a live show from there.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, Chicago's got a few. Maybe I'll look for the Scuttlebutts in Chicago.
Yeah,
maybe
we might need to reopen one. You know.
Excellent. All right. We're going to bring our guest out, John Solo, former podcaster and hopefully future podcaster. I know he's got a couple of things brewing, but former podcaster on a show that I used to love listening to. I was on there once or twice, I think. John and wonderful Charlie, Clone Army Radio. But you did ask me about the phone number. To leave us a voicemail, a message. We love hearing your voices, your messages. And when we find some interesting stuff, we react to it and we include it in the show. What's that number? That's right. 773-234-8659.
I was close.
Excellent. John is on screen. John, how's it going, brother?
It is going well, and looking forward to talking about Shadow Maul.
It's just good to change the title. Shadow Maul. But yeah, absolutely. So you were again. I love that you kept in touch. You know, obviously you are no longer podcasting with Charlie over at Clone Army Radio. I loved you guys. I loved listening to your takes, and obviously being on the show with you guys was fantastic. But you do have some things coming up, right?
Yeah, I was working on something, but we're delaying it because the friend of mine that I was going to do it with, she's got stuff going on, so I'm just shelving that idea.
Okay.
But I guess maybe sort of bringing back the Clone Army show, but not under that name. So sure. I'm not like glued to just Star Wars. I should have some news coming up pretty soon though. But I haven't done the show in like a year or two now, I think, and like a year and a half, and I'm missing it. I miss the community. I miss doing it. Being behind the mic is just something I should probably be doing, even though it doesn't make me any money. It's still fun. You know?
Yeah, we've been doing it for what, 5+ years? We're still broke.
We made $5+ bucks.
Yeah.
I lost money in like 3 years.
Yeah. We don't do this, to get rich, but no, absolutely. I think the community, and obviously that's one of the biggest reasons Brad and I started the Red 5 Network, just to kind of bring other podcasts in and share what they're doing and share everything that they're up to. It's just fun, just kind of hanging out on this platform and supporting each other. I think more accounts should do that.
Totally.
Life is short. Let's celebrate each other. That's a t-shirt.
Totally a t-shirt.
All right.
Too positive for us.
Too positive. Yeah. But, there's a couple of folks in the chat, and I do want to pinpoint. There was a question earlier up there. Let's
we have a few questions already.
A couple of things here. Let's see here. Dale, good to see you. Patrick, good to see you. Paula, 1966, says, hello, do you both think that the pink Twi'lek in the Maul show will become Darth Talon? And tonight we'll be talking about, obviously, the two episodes, Whispers in the Unknown and Pride and Vengeance. But that is a question that has been posed by a lot of people. And obviously, going into the first episode, folks were talking about the fact that, George Lucas has a little bit of influence in this story, or at least we'll see some of George's abandoned story details maybe come forward here. But that's a good question. I think it's something that fans of Darth Talon and some of the EU stuff or expanded universe are kind of itching at the bit for. But what are your guys' thoughts on that? Brad, we'll start with you.
Obviously she's based off of her. Some have even thought that Devin was a kind of a smashing up of Darth Talon. I think that might be a little bit of a stretch, but who knows? It's cool to see Maul have an apprentice, but it's kind of the same thing where we found out that there was more Jedi out there. When we saw the original trilogy, Luke was our last hope, and that was it. And then we find out that there's Jedi scattered all over the place. And I don't think I want any more on the dark side either, really. Inquisitors are a new thing, fairly new within the last few years. So those are there, and I don't know how I feel about. It depends on how long she lives, I guess. But I don't know. I only want so many Force users out there that we didn't previously know about in this particular time period, anyway.
Yeah, and obviously, both her and her master are new characters. And I know a lot of people have a problem with every time we see a new show, we see like a new Jedi that survived Order 66. But I don't know. It's a big galaxy. I don't mind it. Who knows? But John, what do you think about the Darth Talon idea?
I think in the Disney era, it's almost like it's too obvious for them to do it, so they're not gonna do it. I feel like it'll be something similar to Darth Talon, but they won't use the name. It'll be something just to kind of give the finger.
Like using salt instead of snow.
Yeah,
we all know that's a snow planet, except it's a salt planet.
Right.
I got you. They gotta change it up just that little bit. But I think if they do it, it'll be cool. I hope. But I feel like they'll do the salt instead of snow kind of thing, which might not be a bad thing. Who knows? My question is she going to actually turn to the dark side?
Yeah, there were in this first episode there were a little bit, a couple of hints, and I guess we can start into it. But there, Maul, when she escaped that prison tube or whatever, she was brought into that big warehouse and have had some tea with Maul. But it seems like he was taunting her, obviously, and pulling or trying to at least pull out, some anger, some frustration in order to kind of feed and fester that dark side in her. And there are times when she kind of seemed like she was frustrated and angry that she was getting her butt kicked by Maul. Although she did say, I'm not, I probably shouldn't fight you because I have no business fighting you. She understands her limitations. But what did you think of that sequence, John?
I thought it was really cool. I liked it. Was almost a callback to Return of the Jedi with the lightsaber kind of just out in the open, how Palpatine had it on his throne and Luke kept looking at it. It was similar to what Devin was doing. I knew she was going to take the saber. That was kind of obvious, but I liked the whole sequence that was taking place there. You could actually, one of the coolest things about this animated series is you could see the sweat on her forehead. Like she was getting so frustrated that she was sweating, but they animate it. Like that stuff just blows me away how great the animation's gotten. But yeah, she was drawing from her anger in those moments. I don't know. You wait, just to go back a minute, were you saying that she was getting her butt kicked when she was drawing from her anger, or that was making her angry?
I think that was making her angry.
Okay.
And obviously Maul was all over the place taunting her, you know, the things that he was saying to her. And she was trying to kind of steer clear. But at the same time, I mean, Maul was like right. There's one shot where you can see that he's right behind her, and she turns around, and then all of a sudden he's gone. So he's definitely just taunting her, egging her on. And Brad John said something that I'm going to ask you about, because it's Return of the Jedi is obviously your favorite of the original trilogy films, and there is that kind of that similar sequence where, you know, Palpatine is doing the same thing to Luke. You know, Vader obviously is right there, but the taunting seems to be kind of a dark side thing or a Sith thing where, you know, you've got to try and you know, kind of piss off your opponent to kind of have him or her lose control.
Yeah, I mean, I love what they've shown so far. This is not as dramatic as Darth Plagueis, as we saw in the Acolyte, and how he was playing those games. I'm just joking. But you know, I love that Maul keeps alluding to the Sith code, showing that, you know, so he hasn't fully. Hope everybody here knows the Sith code by heart. But you know, pieces of the lie. There's only passion. Through passion, I gain strength. Through strength, I gain power. Through power, I gain victory. Through victory, my chains are broken. The Force shall set me free. You know, it started off that way, you know, last, or I guess episode 2, where they captured her, but they're like, hey, leave at any time. And she's like, what are you talking about? And he was like, just leave. And, you know, so he's playing that mental chess match with her. And I love that. And it is very much like Return of the Jedi. The saber's there. Hey, you know, I am, you know, whatever you think I am is you know, basically what he told her. And if you think I'm this, you know, evil monster, then take the saber and show me. And, you know, it's hard not to play into that, especially in where she's at in life. You know, the Jedi Order being wiped out, her master kind of, I mean, you could see it from her perspective. Kind of looks like he ditched her a couple times,
Sure.
just to stay out of trouble. All that's playing right into Maul's hands. So, you know, Whispers in the Dark, the name of the episode, beautiful name of the episode, and then you could see it. Like you said, you know, he's in the dark. He's there. He's not there, and he's in her mind. So yeah, some really good parallels there for sure.
Yeah, Maul is interesting in this scene, in this sequence, because he is definitely playing on her fears and drawing her in, even by, you know, telling the story of how Palpatine kind of messed with him, and he's trying to kind of make them the same. You know, Palpatine destroy the Jedi with Order 66, and Palpatine, you know, just as Maul says, my brother was murdered, my mother was murdered. So he's trying to you know, let her know that we are kind of the same. And although she thinks that Maul is a certain something or someone, you know, I like the line where Maul says, you know, it seems like your view of me, you know, is cemented, or is you know, you're set on that. And if you want me to be that, I can, I'm able to. But it's almost like he's giving her kind of a chance to kind of open up and see Maul for maybe who he's not or who he wants to be, but I still think the jury is out as far as, what is his end game. And I know this takes place before Solo and Kira.
This is
Yeah.
just shortly after the Clone Wars, and then Solo was what, 8 years after, somewhere like
like
that,
8 or 9, I think.
Yeah. But speaking of parallels, there's good parallel to Return of the Jedi. Also, kind of with Count Dooku, and I'm just thinking about how the Sith have a brilliant way of corrupting the truth. Like when Dooku tells Obi-Wan everything in Episode 2. Really, the only part of Episode 2 that I actually like. He tells them everything. Like, hey, they're the Republic's being headed by a Sith Lord. He basically, and then Obi-Wan, with all his pride and blindness, says, "No, you're crazy." And Dooku's like, "Hey, Qui-Gon would have joined me," and it's kind of like those same sorts of elements where Maul's telling her, "Look, we're on the same side. My master, the same guy who killed all your Jedi friends, he abandoned me." That's the truth.
Yeah, right.
So wherever that's coming from, but the Sith have a great way of taking the truth and using it as a weapon.
Yeah, that is interesting. And I think, what are your thoughts on? So the last time we saw Darth Maul was in animation, at least, because obviously, the Phantom Menace, but the last time we saw Maul in animation was the Spider Legs, right?
What do you mean? So we had so Clone Wars. You have him. So I guess his overall timeline would be
right.
Clone Wars, Spider Legs, gets the new legs, teams up with Savage Opress, his brother, throughout the Clone Wars. So all the stuff that he's alluding to in this show is stuff that happens near the tail end of the Clone Wars. He had built somewhat of a good thing, but all that came crashing down near the end of the Clone Wars. And then in the middle of that was not an animation, but the Solo movie. So, this show is between the Clone Wars and the Solo movie, where he's clearly, by the time we get to the Solo movie, rebuilt everything. And then ending off with Rebels, which happens right before Episode 4, or a couple years before Episode 4, where he is finally killed by Obi-Wan.
Yeah, and folks in the chat are kind of giving us a timeline too. Thank you very much. You guys are super smart and super nerdy. Thank you for that. So
and then that last for really good insight, that last season of Clone Wars that they put out, where they showed Order 66 from a different angle with Ahsoka and with the clone troopers and with Maul, the tremendous insight on with those episodes. And you could just, and that's where Maul, I think, really changed as a character. And that's when he, like a switch just flipped in his head, like, what the hell just happened? And, he realized too late that what he thought was going to happen. This is what Sam Witwer refers to in the interviews that he gives. He thought his master was lining up for this one thing, had this one thing in mind. And then he realized too late, like, oh shit, he had something else planned completely. He never thought if you listen to Sam Witwer, so we've talked about this, how the actors, they have really great insight on their characters. Maul doesn't ever believe that the Jedi are going away completely. He thinks he knows that the Sith are the enemy of the Jedi, sworn enemy, mortal enemy. But it's kind of like a Joker Batman thing. He always thought the Jedi would be there for the Sith to fight. Never did he think that the entire order would be wiped out by his master, and then there would be this mechanized monstrosity that's the Empire. And you can see a lot of that in those last Clone Wars episodes.
Yeah. So based on the trajectory of Maul, which we already know, obviously knowing a little history of where he goes and where he ends up, how do you see Maul in this particular part of the story? I had I was on another podcast earlier in the week, and I mentioned that to me, he almost reminds me of Thrawn in how deliberate his speech is and how controlled he seems to be. Very much like Thrawn, especially in the books. Your thoughts on how they seem to be really building Maul into a very strong character, because obviously, to some degree, he starts to go downhill when things start to happen, especially towards the end, when you see him lost in the desert looking for Obi-Wan. I think his madness returns. But what are your thoughts on his trajectory at this point in time when we're being told this story? John, I'll go with you.
I mean, he's got a clear path. He's got a plan. He wants to get his crime syndicate back in order from, I believe, when he was, arrested in the Siege of Mandalore, and then Ahsoka broke him out. In that time, all those crime syndicate leaders, I think what we're seeing in this series, at least, they went on their own or moved forward without him. So he wants to get them back, which we saw in a really cool way with the Pikes in the one episode. I think that was the 4th episode. He's looking for an apprentice, and I think from what he was in Rebels in the desert, he was back to spider leg Maul at that point, I think, just losing his mind. But here he's, like you said, very Thrawn like. He's got everything laid out on how he wants to do it, and he's doing it much better than Boba Fett did in the Book of Boba Fett, I might add.
Well, that's funny you should say that, because I think we saw I saw a post. I saw a post earlier in the week that said that this show is probably what the Book of Boba Fett should have been.
Oh yeah.
And it seems like I agree. I think there's a lot of criminal underground story, a lot of cool little plot twists and story elements that really should have been kind of a little bit more of a nitty gritty, dirty underworld feel to something like the Book of Boba Fett. I think we were given a bait and switch with that show. Yeah, and obviously Brad and I have talked about in the past, especially the first 2 episodes. I mean, the animation is incredible. The animation is great. The brushstrokes, the texture, the roughness of it. I think it lends itself to another. I don't know, gives it another worldly feel to it, and it really envelops you. Some of the shots, and I had posted something that I'm going to pat myself on the back. Sam Whitward really liked this post. I was talking about, as a news camera guy myself, I was talking about how amazing and how interesting it was for this animated show to have such a masterful look and feel to camera placement. There are wide shots, there are camera moves, there are the blocking of the characters as they move back and forth in a scene is a lot better than some of the live action. And in my head I'm thinking, the live action does kind of have a limitation because of the volume. You've got certain characters that are in the scene, and you've got to do, there are limitations of it. I think it depends on how the director uses the volume. But obviously in animation, there is no limitation, but there, take a look at it. When you look at it again, just watch the blocking of characters and how they move in and out of the frame, the camera motions. It's really, really great. It's fantastic. And I think that adds another layer of awesomeness to the show, because it's, at some point you do forget that you're watching, an animated show, and you're like really involved in the texture and the storytelling. And the other thing too is the music is incredible. Going back to the scene where Maul is having tea with what's her name, there's a conversation that they're having, and you can hear the music kind of do this really great singular tone that starts to climb and climb and climb, and that adds to the tension. So it's one of those things that that I feel is incredibly planned from the get-go. And I hope that a lot of people are enjoying it as much as we are.
It's really cinematic.
Yeah.
And then that was one of my problems with The Mandalorian was you were talking about the camera angles. I thought it was really boring. Like, it didn't capture me at all. I didn't think, how they shifted or didn't shift in that show. It just seemed kind of boring. I wanted to talk about a couple of things you said, like with the art. Ever since you said, I think it was on our last show, where you talked about the art at the end of The Mandalorian and how this is kind of like based on that. Now that's what I saw when I was watching this show, and I'm like, oh my God, like, it's amazing. Like, they're playing in that art. It's like they're and it's insane. And another thing, I don't know if you saw this, you talked about music, but also, the other sounds. I hope you guys saw this, but did you hear where they recorded Sam Witwer screaming, and you can hear that in his lightsaber? They put him letting loose, and then you can hear that in his lightsaber. Now, if that's not like attention to detail, like, so you can literally feel and hear his rage and his anger. And I wanted to go back to what John was saying, like, about his trajectory that you were asking about. Like, it's going to be like scary upward at this point, because he was already probably one of the best weapons out there. I mean, he was a living weapon, and you can see that in this show. Like, whenever there's a battle, it's a no-brainer. He's just decimating everybody out there. So he's already a living weapon. But now, as opposed to what you saw in episode 1 and early in the Clone Wars, now he's a thinking living weapon, and he's meditating, he's contemplating, he's planning out ahead of time. He's not just looking 5 feet in front of him. He's looking down range now. So he could be, you talked about the possibility of him meeting up with Vader, or maybe even fighting Vader as a season finale in this show. And if that's the case, he is going to destroy Vader at this point. I think he's going to, because everybody loves to see Vader get his ass whooped these days for some reason. Everybody likes to see his limbs cut off, one eyeball showing through his mask. Everybody loves to see Vader get his ass whooped. And I think that might happen again with this show. Although I don't know how they resolve that, because I don't see how Vader would just let him live after that. For that many years.
And we'll I think we'll get to some more speculation at the end of the 4th episode, based on what we see and how it ends. But definitely, I don't know. Just, the sad thing about, how we compare live action to animation, it's animated shows are so wonderful, and I think people take it for granted how much story there is, especially in the Star Wars world. I mean, there was one, when we were watching The Bad Batch, I think we were enjoying The Bad Batch a lot more than we were the Mandalorian second season there. But just something about it. I mean, for everything that you guys mentioned and some of the stuff that we're talking about, really, really fantastic. This series is what, 8 episodes? 10. So we are kind of halfway there, but good stuff. What are your John wasn't here last week, and he was actually supposed to be here last week, I think. But Brad, I asked you last week regarding any new characters that kind of piqued your interest. But I'm going to ask John, are there any new characters in the series that you really latched onto? And we did talk last week. We did talk about how that little, assassin droid, the spy bot, was really cool. And
Boosh-Kadoo.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna get a shirt that says Boosh-Kadoo on it.
Boosh-Kadoo.
And obviously, Star Wars does droids really well. But what are do you have any new characters that stand out to you?
As of right now, God, I'm gonna probably say no. Like my main focus is on Maul, and I mean Devin. I think is all right. I think Devin could be a really she is an interesting character. Her master Okie Dokie, Iki Dookie, whatever the hell, like that
Uncle
guy.
Deaky, yeah.
I love the voice actor.
Allstate. Just
yeah.
You'll save some money with Allstate.
Right. Like he's a great I mean, he was Pedro Serrano in Major League, the president in 24. So he's had a lot of great roles, but that character that he's playing is just so dull.
So far, yeah.
Yeah, so far. It could change.
I think he's gonna let loose at some point though.
Yeah,
that would be cool. I would love to see it for sure.
Something like Yoda in Revenge of the Sith.
Oh yeah, that would be great.
He's very subdued for sure. But yeah, and what do you guys think of the cop Lawson?
He's okay, kind of Jim Gordon-ish, I think.
Yeah.
Kind of a neglectful parent. Did either one of you think that Devin? I thought for a half a second that when the three of them were there, when Devin, her master, and Maul were there, for half a second I thought she was going to kill her master.
That would have been awesome.
To seal the deal. I just thought like, screw this guy, and then she goes all in on Maul. I don't know. It didn't happen, but
it didn't happen. But I really want it to. Maybe by the end of the season or next season or something, because I think that would just be a really powerful moment for, a character to turn to the dark side. Not because I dislike his character, but just, if she either kills her master or she's the reason her master dies, I think that's the perfect way for her to turn.
And are you talking about during the warehouse battle where they all came out? And obviously, finally, Maul.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be like a episode 3 sort of thing with Mace, Anakin, and the Emperor. I thought he was going to get a lightsaber right in the back, like through. Through the front.
I didn't think that. If it did happen, I think it would have been too soon. If it is going to happen, I think it would still be too soon. I think later on, if he continues to taunt, if he continues to do whatever, and she does do it, and John is right. That would be an incredible, powerful move. Patrick is laughing at us and asks, "Why do you people think she's going to turn? This is not the way Maul works."
It doesn't say you people. It just says, "Why do people?"
Oh, what do you people? Clumping myself in there, but
this is not the way Maul. Patrick. What do you mean? Because he's literally looking for an apprentice.
Yeah, he's looking for an apprentice.
He had sort of one with.
That's true. He couldn't turn Ezra.
Well, that hasn't happened yet.
Right. Yeah. He's practicing.
I mean, he sort of had an apprentice with his brother. I mean, his brother didn't want that subservient role, but got put into it. So he sort of had an apprentice with Savage.
True. That worked out well until the end.
Yeah. Until he died miserably.
Right.
Which was, by the way, I always forget the name of that episode. One of the best episodes of the Clone Wars, for sure.
Oh yeah.
You get to see Palpatine in all his glory. And,
right. Yeah.
And don't forget that, and now that I mentioned it, where he kills Savage, and they're like, I forgot who asked him. Maybe it was one of the men, somebody like, "You're not going to kill Maul," or maybe Maul asked him. And he's like, "No, I got plans for him."
Right.
Oh, right. Yeah. Palpatine said he had plans for him.
Yeah.
So, and that was somewhat near the end of what was that? Yeah, it was season 5?
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Yeah.
So it was getting near.
Always playing the end game, the long game there.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of Two Boots? He keeps wanting to try and call the Empire, and Lawson's
Snitch.
like,
yeah.
Is he a snitch, or do you think he's just, it's time to obey protocol?
Well, I don't think droids could do that, for one thing. I mean, I thought, they have a certain programming they had to follow. I can't believe that they have the autonomy to actually go behind his back and do some shit like that.
Well, apparently he did. Yeah, apparently he did, but yeah, it's interesting. I mean, it's we equate it to kind of a buddy cop movie. We've got Two Boots and Lawson, and they're teaming up. When he gets desk duty, you can kind of there's like a tonal shift between the two characters, and it's a little sad because it seems like they've been through a lot together, and yeah, interesting.
What about the plot with his wife? How's that going to
Well,
play into this? Because now we do know. And so number one, we were asking what planet this was on. So now we know it's Janix, not
right.
Coruscant. And now we know that his wife is in the Empire, right? I think they said those words in this. She went off and joined the Empire or something like
Right,
that.
she works for the Empire, and somebody in the show that I was on Tuesday said that how cool would it be? I don't know about cool, but how interesting would it be if his wife turns out to be Dedra from
Interesting.
Andor. Just want to say a quick hello to Michelle Ferry. Thank you very much for coming on by. And yes, a lot of us are excited about new Star Wars shows until they come out and we watch it and we review it and we're like, not for us. But this definitely is. And again, we've always said that for some reason, Star Wars animated shows are a hell of a lot better than live action for some reason. I think the writing is crafted a lot better. But I would say absolutely give it a chance for sure. But thanks for stopping by, Michelle. And yeah, Darth Beard has the three laws, the three robotic laws of Asimov. Calling the Empire might violate one of those laws.
It gave us a Star Destroyer at the end, and really, that's all that matters.
Right. Yeah. So about that shot again. It's always cool to see a Star Destroyer in low orbit. I don't care if it's live action or animated, but there's some rumblings too on the internet to try and figure out who is on that ship. Is it Vader?
Imperials.
Is it obviously Imperials, but do you think that it's Vader himself or
no?
Why would they dispatch Vader to that? This is
right.
like a
well,
it's definitely going to be the Inquisitors.
Inquisitors, right? But
we already saw in the trailer.
Apparently
all Star Destroyers come with Inquisitors now.
Right. Somebody might have said, "Hey, there's a Force user over here. We might want to send someone to." Yeah.
Well, there was a book with Darth Vader. Well, it wasn't with Darth Vader was going around stalking or hunting Jedi that were on the run. I can't remember the name of the book off the top of my head. It was really good too. And I don't at the time there weren't any Inquisitors. It was just Palpatine. Yeah, I think that's the one. That was a really good book. It was. It was just Vader. He was being dispatched to go and hunt down these Jedi, but then the Inquisitors came around in the animation, which is fine as long as they're not the Inquisitors of the Obi-Wan show. It should be okay. I got to get my jabs in. Sorry, but yeah, but I mean, it makes more sense to send the lackeys out, especially if they have any idea who the Jedi is on this planet. If that's revealed at all to them, Vader's not going to waste his time with that guy.
I would love to see, who's on the ship. I would just love to see the Empire. I would love to see some Jedi style shots in this animated way. Some ATSTs going through there.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
I don't think they have ATSTs yet, but something like them.
Brad's getting a Woody.
You mean getting?
Getting. It's already there, pal. But speaking of Brad's Woody, you're not too much of a fan of the Pikes, are you?
Well, there it goes. Gone now. Thanks. No, it's just. Have we degraded this much, sir? Because know who's in the chat. Oh, yeah, Subtle Deviancy does not need to hear about my Woody. Yeah, the Pikes are stupid. Although the dude on this one, chilling on the throne.
Yeah.
He was pretty cool, but the rest of them are really stupid looking.
Yeah, I mean, let's get into our thoughts on how Maul is kind of dealing with these. Was it Sam Witwer who said this show really isn't about good guys and bad guys? It's about bad guys and worse guys.
Maybe,
And I kind of like really dig that. You've got all the crime syndicates are in play here, and they're rolling the dice to try and have control. And I think obviously we know who ends up ruling them all, but Maul, one by one, it seems like a lot of his little plans and surprises are working quite well.
I'm curious who the worst are though, because I don't think we've seen them unless we're counting the Inquisitors. I wouldn't say the Inquisitors are worse than Maul by a long shot. So I'm just wondering. I hope I hope that comes to fruition, that we see what worse looks like.
Yeah.
Well, maybe so far,
he's the baddest dude on there.
Yeah.
So far, so I look forward to seeing who the hell is worse than that.
Yeah. Spencer Dingus Den has a question. Since this show is set during early Empire, when exactly compared to the early Vader stories, such as Soul's Vader Run?
It's a lot of Soul stuff was pretty close to right up to Order 66.
Yeah.
So it fits in there, but I think it's after a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, you woke up subtle. Yeah, but yeah, I'm enjoying this is really a show that if it was done in live action, that would have been interesting. And I hope if it were done in live action, it would be done as well. But it's got a lot of great, voice performances. Obviously, we talked about the camera work and the animation, the style. I really love the fact that each Star Wars animated show has come out with a different style. And I know, a lot of people didn't like Resistance. It was a little bit more kiddie, but that was different than Rebels and, Clone Wars. Obviously, Visions is a thing on its own. But I don't know. Kudos to whoever kind of coined that look and feel, because it like I said, it really envelops you, and you get lost in the texture of not only the storytelling but the visuals, and really looking forward to more of this.
It's
just
really
stick with that animation style. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, no, I agree. Just stick with it. It's really just like kind of taking the Clone Wars animation and like raising the bar a bit, which is really cool, because that was, if I look back, that's my favorite, is the Clone Wars. The Bad Batch was okay, looked great, but like the actual Bad Batch was okay. Rebels, when Rebels came out, I did not like it, and I think a big part of it was the animation style, the art. It was so different from the Clone Wars
really.
Yeah. But you could see over the few seasons, what was it, 4 seasons, that it got better and better through that time. But I'm kind of glad when I saw the first trailer for Maul, I'm like, oh my God, Clone Wars is back, like it has that style, and it's just it's beautiful. Like some of the shots and the angles and all of that, it's just beautiful looking. Who needs live action when you have this?
Yeah. I was just thinking this is, bro, this could be bad. This is raising the bar for the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. Like this is top-notch stuff that we got right now. Who cares if it's animated? This is top-notch Star Wars content right now. It's really raising the bar for Mandalorian, so that better be a good movie, or there's going to be a lot more talk about what way Disney should go in the future as far as making live action versus animated, big screen versus small screen. Mandalorian better be good at this point.
Yeah, and it's funny, you and I just finished a rewatch of season 3 of The Mandalorian, and just to kind of gear up for the movie. I did watch the new trailer that dropped. I think it dropped today or yesterday, and I don't know. It's I think we better get some surprises in the movie for them to justify doing this as a film. First Star Wars movie out of the gate, and I don't think The Mandalorian should have been it. Although, we'll see. And I know Jon Favreau has said that, he was already ready. He had all the stories. There you go.
That's for you, Ro. April 22nd to 27th.
Yep.
That's when you get your new Laserdisc.
Oh,
Nice.
wow.
It'll be here
Awesome.
soon, sir.
Very nice. So, yeah, it's, the bar is high, and it's funny to say that the bar is high because of a Star Wars animated show versus a movie, but here we are. That's the way the cookie crumbles.
It's just because the animation series have been so good and so well plotted and written, and it's familiar characters. Like we as Star Wars fans, we don't like new things a lot of times, and so when we see the when we see the familiarity of Maul coming back, that's gonna get us more excited than a Mando movie. I think as much as season 1 and 2 of Mando was awesome, they were both really good. I think season 3, you guys said you just rewatched it.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it since it came out, since my podcast was covering it. That was the last time. It wasn't terrible. It was so different from the first 2 seasons that's making, I think, a lot of fans hesitant about this film. Like, where is this going to go? What is it going to be?
Speaking of Mandalorians, the ones on this show are Mandalorians.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
They are 500% more Mandalorian than anything that we saw in that show.
True.
That's how Mandalorians are supposed to act. Like they're mercenaries because they don't have really, they still don't have a home. But that's how Mandalorians should look and should act. Badass warriors.
Yeah.
Those are Mandalorians. So even they got it right there.
True, and that goes all the way back to playing like Knights of the Old Republic. When you run into the Mandalorians in that game, that's how they are in the Clone Wars and all of that. So yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, so we'll see.
They have their helmets off though, so I don't know if they're real Mandalorians or not, because you can see their faces. So
let me ask you this:
probably go drink the water on Mandalore.
Did they do that in the animated shows where they don't take their helmets off? Was it between the one sector and another, or was that just
they had helmets off all the time?
Like Pre-Vizsla took his helmet off,
and not even Death Watch. It wasn't a we got to keep our helmets on.
When it was business time, they put their helmets on.
Yeah. So it seems like that was just done for the show in case Pedro Pascal wasn't available to shoot.
He only paid for his voice, not for his face.
That was a rumor, right? Wasn't it that they did it because he may not always be able to be on set? Yeah. If that's the only reason they did it, it's kind of goofy.
Yeah, it's goofy because it creates a whole lore for the Mandalorians that didn't exist beforehand. And, I'm okay with discovering new things about a certain culture, but it is kind of goofy.
I mean, like I would say like in the old comics, they always had their helmets on, but that was just because that was the look of the Mandalorians. They were supposed to look like Spartans. So but they never talked about it at all. Though.
Yeah, absolutely. But if anybody has any doubts about the show, I mean, obviously we're never going to tell you to like or not like a show. I think you have to watch it for yourself, and then you can let us know if you like or not like, and for what reason. But definitely recommend this show. And again, just going back to something that Brad and I always, we're always excited for something new. We were excited about The Acolyte, then we started watching it, and then we told people that we didn't like it and why. But this show, 4 episodes in, we obviously were very excited about it for the people involved. Sam Witwer, Darth Maul, some decent storylines, and I think the show is hitting on all cylinders. Really great storytelling. Obviously, the technical aspect of the show is really great. The music is phenomenal. I don't know. It's
I would
really
love this on
great.
the big screen. Put this thing together at the end. Throw it on the big screen.
Yeah.
I'd be there.
Oh yeah, I would definitely love to see it on the big screen. That would be awesome.
And hear, like you sent me that thing. I wish I had. I don't have a very good. I don't have a surround sound system, but this is the first time they're using that new technology where apparently it sounds amazing in surround sound.
Yeah, 7.1. They're mixing it in 7.1 surround, and if you can take advantage of that, that would be fantastic. And damn you, Disney Plus, for blocking a shared screen, because I'm looking at the Star Destroyer that's floating overhead.
Bushkadoo's
It
gonna
won't
get
show
you.
me. Yeah. Oh well.
Booshkidoo. Hey, quick question: how do you guys feel about the lacrosse stuff in Star Wars? Is it weird to you guys? I know some people I've seen think it's stupid or it's weird.
I saw the paddle, but I didn't think it was actually lacrosse, but maybe a paddle that was similar to the game. Obviously you didn't see Lawson's kid go back on the field and do lacrosse,
right?
but
it was space lacrosse. It's completely different.
There you go.
Well,
Exactly.
it wasn't really lacrosse because it was some mixture of lacrosse and baseball because the dude never moved, but apparently he did he scored or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
But he never really moved from that spot, so I don't know.
The real question, John, is how do you feel about bricks and screws?
Well, I know where you're going with that, but yeah, the only brick I can think of is in Andor, right? Isn't that when that happened?
Yeah. That's when that controversy
wasn't there
came
a zipper
about
thing too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody said there were no zippers, but Luke zips up his flight suit in The Empire Strikes Back, so that quashed that.
Right.
But hey, man, fans are fickle; they'll argue about anything. But yeah, absolutely. Let's go around the table and give some final thoughts and maybe some ratings. How many scuttlebutts out of 5 would you give these two episodes? Let's start with John, our lovely guest.
All right. Well, I would give it 5 out of 5 scuttlebutts, both episodes. I think I don't know. The first 4 episodes have been so good. Like I really have no complaints. I mean, I could nitpick, I'm talking about Oki Ikodaki. He's kind of boring, but at the same time,
Uncle Oki Ducky.
Uncle Okie Ducky. Yeah. So many weird ways you could name that guy, but like that's really just a nitpick really for me. Overall the voice acting is great for all the characters, the animation we've talked about, the music we've talked about. The Kiners get Star Wars music 1000%. I love the direction it's going in, and being a Darth Maul / Maul fan from the Phantom Menace forward, like I love just watching what he's doing. It feels very like Thrawn, like you were saying, Ro. And I love Thrawn, the Heir to the Empire books and all that. I listen to him all the time, but I can't wait to see what's going to happen next. And I haven't been able to say that about newer Star Wars in a while. So
sure,
that's exciting. And I love the blacks and reds. It's his colors, but they use it so much with the lighting in every episode.
Again, the planning of this series is top notch, and I think they should. If Disney learns anything, I think they really should kind of learn that planning goes a long way.
For sure.
Tell a great story and plan it out.
Right. And then something we didn't really touch on too much were the lightsaber battles.
Oh yeah, somebody mentioned in the chat, but I agree. The lightsaber battles were very visually interesting to watch, and I know like sometimes there's kind of like a weird staccato like thing, but I think they flow pretty well.
And
they look great.
They look awesome.
And they sound great, obviously, from what Brad was saying, regarding Sam Witwer's scream that was kind of intermixed into the glow and stuff. It's it's been really great. And it's funny because, again, knowing the trajectory of the character, sometimes you look at something, you're like, well, we know that he can't die because of what we know, but it's some of these scenes are really still exciting to see and see how it goes, plans out. But absolutely.
Yeah,
Brad?
last week I gave him 4 out of 5 scuttlebutts, and that, I guess my rationale in my head was you're always hoping for something to top that. Then I realized
Sure.
this week, I'm gonna echo what John said. Like, I'm just gonna give it what it is, which is a 5 out of 5. Like, if I have no complaints about the show, uh, it's a 5 out of 5, and I might redo my answers for last week, not to shill it out, but it's just a great show. There are no real complaints. The pacing is good. There's been, I hate to say, there's been no throwaway episodes. You would hope not with 4 episodes, but they've done that before, where there was only so
Sure.
many, and there was already, like, the third one was already like a throwaway episode.
Right.
Everything is counted so far towards the story, and the fact that it's this good 4 episodes into it, and we
Sure.
have, there's 10 total. That's a little bit scary. If it continues like this, that's going to be a scary good show.
Oh yeah.
And they would have really backed up the hype, really Sam Witwer's hype, which we should have trusted him anyway, because how much he loves Maul and Star Wars. But I mean, yeah, 5 out of 5. There's everything about it. As far as the visuals, you remember, like, as a kid, where you had the little piece of art and then you could put, like, the little magnetic stickers on it for the little characters.
Oh, yeah.
That's how we played. That's how we did make believe. That's kind of what it reminds me of. Is like, you have these beautiful matte paintings
backgrounds,
and then you have all these characters playing in that universe.
I forgot what that was called.
Yeah, I can't think of it either.
But and that's a compliment, right? Because that's how we saw it. That's how we played.
Right.
That's how we immersed these characters into that particular universe.
Mhm.
And that's what it reminds me of. Like, they're just playing in this beautiful universe, with the music and the sounds and everything else. So I'm with John. 5 out of 5, easy.
Yeah, that's funny. It's I always reserve an extra point in case Darth Vader shows up in anything. I don't care what show it is. I'll always reserve that half a point for the awesome factor. This is obviously, for me, this is getting pretty close. Like Brad said, it really has been consistently good. 4 episodes in, a lot of folks in the chat are saying that they're very excited to see what the rest of the series throws at us. I think it's obviously, with the appearance of that Star Destroyer that just arrived, things can only get even more exciting, going forward. And I know that they announced that a second season has already been greenlit for this. I'm really excited to continue the show. I hope that, like I said, I hope that Disney kind of learns from the reaction of fans regarding this show. I think even the hard-assed fans maybe might warm up a little bit to this show. But we'll see. I'm going to give this a 4.85 scuttlebutts out of 5.
No, but it's talking about, we've talked about Vader possibly showing up, and we've talked about there being worse out there than Maul. I hope that worse out there is Vader.
Yeah.
And that he does show up, because this is full badass Vader that we have right now. Vader on top of his game. So if he does show up, I hope that's the worst that we're talking, because really, him and Palpatine are the worst.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know who else is worse out there.
Right.
But that's. I hope he shows up like that, and like terrifying.
How does that play out though? Like, because we know neither of them can die. That's my only issue with it. It'd be awesome to see them fight for sure, but how does it end? Like,
I mean, I thought they did that pretty well with. There's all that talk with the Obi-Wan series, and how that affected the lines in the episode 4. I thought that was the only redeeming part about that show was the fight scenes between Obi-Wan and Vader, and I was okay. I mean, we saw the Force completely being used and abused in those scenes. So if it's like that, I'm okay with the draw.
Good point. Good point.
Yeah.
As long as we don't see the Inquisitors in this show like the Inquisitors in the Obi-Wan show.
Yeah, that's not canon.
That's
Has there been any stupid criticism of this show online that you've seen?
I mean, not too much. I mean, obviously you've got people that believe that Maul shouldn't have been resurrected in the first place.
Oh man, it's a little too late for that.
Too late, obviously too late for that. But no, I haven't seen the usual stuff. Again, I think the people that are enjoying it, I see some posts from time to time, and they're giving good reasons, obviously, for enjoying it. But again, it's just well done. It's well produced. It's well, the actors are given their all, and it's just a really great story, and I can't wait to see more of it.
Do you think the fan is going to hit the poop in the next 2 episodes with the Empire showing up? Do you think it's just going to be all out chaos, or is it going to be a slow build?
No, this episode 5 and 6 are going to peak.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I want some Jedi Survivor shit or Force Unleashed, however you want to look at it. I just have at it. Stormtroopers are expendable.
Yeah.
I think Uncle Docky is going to bite the bullet in the next episode.
Nice.
I think
Vader's just gonna. I think it's gonna. Vader's gonna come down and just do his thing.
Snap him in half with the snap of his finger.
Yep.
Ooh, like he did to that guy in the Obi-Wan series.
Yeah.
Remember
that was brutal. I saw that and I'm like, did they actually do that?
I couldn't believe Disney pulled that one out, man. I was like, wow.
Yeah. But even in the worst Disney Star Wars shows, Vader's is still kind of okay.
So I mean, think about it. Okay, now we're gonna nerd it out because this is what we do. Yes. All right, because we're talking about Vader. So you've seen how badass Maul has been this entire time. Now imagine seeing Maul terrified of Vader.
Right.
Like, how much does that elevate Vader if this badass that is Maul suddenly gets terrified? And I just got goosebumps just saying it.
Yeah.
Come on now, that elevates both characters right there. Like
absolutely. Yeah.
Let's hope.
Yeah, and I think there's a strong possibility that that's the trajectory, and it's and I know a lot of people were having issues with another encounter between Obi-Wan and Vader in the Vader series because they didn't want that to happen, but I feel like this should be a good opportunity to kind of I don't want to say rewrite history because it hasn't really happened at all, but this is a good opportunity to kind of present something new in canon and kind of play around with it. But I think I like what you're saying, Brad. I like what you're laying down there.
I mean, everything you do like that, now take it back to the original trilogy. Like if he's beaten Maul, now that character that you love through the original trilogy, that's just one more thing on his resume that he did.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
It could also be a good way if they save Vader for like if there's only 2 seasons or if there's 3, it could be a way to explain away Devin, or if she becomes Talon, Vader could kill her in a duel with Maul, her and Vader. And maybe that's how Maul ends up all Looney Tunes over on Mandalore for Rebels,
Yeah, I can see that.
Something's going to happen.
And again, I think Vader's going to be elevated in this series, and maybe the end of the cliffhanger of this season is going to be that shot where Vader and Maul, face off, and then cut to black. So that'll be exciting.
Give me a 23-minute or 30-minute lightsaber fight between those two.
Yeah,
with things being chucked all over the place.
Right.
I'm here for it.
So yeah, good stuff. It's nice to kind of be excited for a Star War lately. So thank you, John, for coming on this week. And obviously, you are welcomed anytime. But we had a good time. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Why don't you tell folks where people can find you to say hello there?
You can find me on Twitter at Undead Radio Star or at Instagram, John Solo Sebastian.
Very nice. Brad, do you have any announcements? Anything you want to get off your chest before we wrap things up here? What do we have brewing? What's the hoo-ha and the hee-hoo?
I don't know. I feel like that was like a leading question, and I don't know what the answer is. I don't know. We're going to record an awesome May the 4th episode at some point here real soon. I don't know what it's going to be, but it's going to be awesome.
It's going to be awesome. And obviously, you're coming to Chicago. We're going to watch the Mandalorian movie, hang out with some other Red Fivers.
Boot camp that I've been in Chicago.
Nice. Yeah, let me know. Give me a little list, because I'm not telling anybody, but I'm going to call in sick for 2 days just to hang out with you. So
yeah,
we'll
I'm
do
glad I won't
stuff.
be wearing a uniform this time, because everybody wants to take your money when you're wearing a uniform when you first get out of boot camp.
Really?
So I'm glad I won't be in uniform.
Nice. All right, cool. Excellent. Yeah, so we'll be doing that, recording some new episodes, but again, find us with the rest of the Red 5 network over at bio.link/Red5. And if you find another Red 5 network show, tell us about it. We'd love to hear who you found and what they're talking about, and spread the word. If you love our content or any of the other Red 5 peeps, we'd love to hear about it. Yeah. Thank you, everybody in the chat, for hanging out with us on Saturday night here on the live edition, Scarif Live, of the Scarif Scuttlebutt podcast. We are proud founding members of the Red 5 Network. Until next time, Brad.
I did like Maul more than Chris Chelios, and that's the Scuttlebutt. There was a comment. You have to.
All righty. Folks, thank you so much.